more I get into this, the more we're trying to do more with grazing and keeping the cows out on the ground as long as possible.
We didn't see the cover crop coming at that time when neither one of us expanded our cow herds, but that's the opportunity.
That's why we've switched over to basically doing the cover crops with some grazing intertwined, because that grazing, you can see an economic benefit right away from marketing of your cattle. Since we've managed differently, we're starting to see a lot of different revenue streams that we wouldn't have had before. I mean, we haven't had to sell off cattle. We've been able to maintain our herd, more profit there. Some of our acres that we couldn't raise good crops on, we've converted to forage land, a rotational grazing. And that's another revenue stream as far as being able to turn the cows out there. And I personally am debt-free, and a lot of it's because of the grazing. You kind of got to be more, not necessarily open-minded, but you've got to be open to failure. I mean, yep. we failed.
You're going to fail. I've got neighbors that have told me, once you get this figured out, I'm going to do it. Okay, but they're not willing to fail. Okay, they know what works now for them, and if that is 100 animal units less than what they could run on a rotationally grazing system, until that system has been figured out and been able to be
boxed up.
Yeah,
they can just say,
show you how to do it or what to plant as a cover crop out here that will succeed 85% of the time, then they'll do it. They're not willing to fail and put the money out when there's a chance they might not get a return.
Some of it's mindset too. I think it's a pride factor that if you fail, people think that automatically deems you as, a crappy farmer, or, that you're a failure. But I think I learn as much through failure as I do through anything else. I mean, you might think they're a mistake this year, but gosh, the next year I've grown the best corn I've ever grown in drought conditions after that. And it starts making you think, oh, well, I must have done something right. And you start looking back at what did I do to this particular part of the field, or what did I do differently here?
Personal responsibility is what this all boils down to, whether it's me as a farmer or anybody who works in a town somewhere. I'm
doing the best you can.
Doing the best you can, and that's what we do out here.
The payoff's not this year or next year. It's going to be 15, 20 years, and like Clint's probably said, we might not even see the full benefit. It might be our children or our grandchildren, but at least we're trying to leave this land in at least as good a shape, if not a better shape, than what we found it in. So.